Today we're going to do a willet run on this old dump truck. It's probably been sitting for 30 to 40 years. It's got the old inline 6-cylinder in it. At some point, someone used just wires for spark plug wires instead of using the original. So I say there's probably a problem with them. If it don't start like this, we'll throw a set of plug wires on it. On the inside here, you can see someone put a different seat in there. It's got about 100,000 miles on it, which is a lot for one of these old trucks, but we're gonna see if we can get it running. From what I can see, it needs a coil and some other parts, and someone's put a fan belt on there. It looks pretty recent, but the motor's not locked up, so we're gonna throw a coil on here, put the battery on, and see if we can get it running. I'm gonna throw this coil on here. I do have a 6-volt coil. I didn't know I had one. Put it in here. Hopefully it'll just slide in there. Which side is this? It's the battery side, so this one needs to go here to the ground side. Then I think, let me find this wire. I think this wire right here, they ran from the ignition. I don't know yet, but we'll put this on here and see if it gives it power. If it don't, we'll run another wire to it. Put the ground on. Well, loop it around. There we go. They're getting contact there. This is what they use for their coil to the distributor wire. They just use this piece of red wire, so we'll just plug it in there and hopefully we get good enough contact with all these wires. Got that done. Go over here. Open up this side of the hood so there's a little bit more light in there. Carburetor seems to be locked up a little bit. We'll spray some carbon choke cleaner in there and see if we can get it to move around. Go grab the battery and throw on here and see if it gets any powered anywhere. There's about 1,000,000 amps crawling around on the floor. At least I can get to the gas pedal now, and it's easier to get to the push down starter. Still don't know which one of these is the choke cable. I don't even think it's hooked up. Well, it is. It's right into there. Still don't know which one it is though. Try this one. Yep, that was probably the choke. And first try, that's the choke, so it'll probably, might try to start it again before I dig too deep in what's wrong with it. So far it's been too easy to get running. The starter worked, the coil worked. I have a piece of fuel line to go from there to there and put a gas tank up there, so I'm just gonna fill it up through here because I turned this upside down and put the fuel line over here so it won't leak out, and hopefully I can fill the bowls of the carburetor up, and then maybe it'll run for a little bit longer, unless all the seals are bad in there, but it don't seem like it because there's no fuel leaking everywhere yet. It just takes forever to fill it up. There we go. Hopefully the floats in there aren't stuck, or it's just pouring all that gas in the motor and never get it started again. There we go. I think it's full. Hopefully it'll start up. Put this gas down here, so hopefully don't set the whole thing on fire if it backfires. I don't think it will, but there we go. Seems like it's gonna run, maybe. might not. There it goes. Well, seems like it's gonna run. And we're out of gas. But it does run. And smokes pretty good, it seems. That's probably just from it setting for however long it's set. Yeah, carburetor's dry. Pour some more back in there and try it again. Well, seems the carburetor's still full. Well, is that the intake? Well, I can already see a problem there. That could be why they parked it. Looks like the exhaust manifold, or yeah, that is the exhaust manifold. It's got a big crack in it. I know on the old motors, the casting wasn't near as good as the newer ones, and when they'd cool down, a lot of times they'd crack, or after they got some wear to them, they'd crack. See if it'll start up again. Maybe keep it running this time. There we go. That's running. No, it's gonna die, but it does run. Undo the hot wire and turn the ignition off so it won't run the battery down. But it does run, and with a fuel pump, or at least a line hooked up, it'd probably run a lot longer. But we're leaking most of our gas, and maybe it'll quit leaking. Well, there we go. Now it shouldn't leak. Surprised it's not leaking right there at the carburetor, but there's a little gasket in there that keeps it from it. And surprisingly, after 60 years or more, it's still good. Fill the carburetor back up. It's way too much fuel, but well, that means it's full. Go back in here and hit it again and try to keep it running for a little bit longer. I am surprised though that it's running with just wires ran across the ignition. I figured they'd be grounding out, but I guess there's enough insulation in them to keep them from that. Hook the coil wire back up, but this time go around there, so, well, go around the back of the column with it. Maybe it won't be in the way of the kick down starter. Go into there. Hook it up. Turn the key on. And a minute ago it wouldn't even try to idle. Cut the ignition. I don't know why they parked this thing. Guess because it probably wasn't efficient anymore, but it still runs good. Little loud because right down there it's And the exhaust manifold down there, the exhaust pipe's rusted off. Good. Probably just have to put an electric fuel pump on it. And it'd run real good. And work on the cooling system, put some antifreeze in there. But there's no way it's going to drive because, as I noticed, the drive shaft's in the bed back there and broken in half. If you look underneath here, you can see the yoke on the back of the rear end's busted. And up here, the shaft for the PTO, basically the pump that runs the bed's bent. So I say at one point they lifted it with a forklift or something like that and broke the drive shaft off. So even if the brakes did work or could get them working, there ain't no way it's moving anywhere. Might do another part on this truck if you guys like this video, and we might get it driving. Who knows? Because it's a nice truck, pretty much rust free, and it'd be a pretty cool old truck to get running. So if you think we should put a drive shaft in here and get the brakes working, leave a comment. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Probably could get it driving, but the only problem is the drive shaft's in the bed, broken in half. And if you look here, the fuel tank's bent, and also the running board, and the yoke on the rear end's busted, and the shaft that runs the pump for the bed's bent. So I say at one point they lifted it with a forklift, and that's when they broke the drive shaft. Or that might have been while they parked it. But if you think we should get this driving, leave a comment. Also, what should we do with the truck? And don't forget to like and comment and subscribe. Thank you for watching.